Hi viewers, hope you are all doing well. So far as our exams are fast approaching, we are looking for the question answer, revising question answer. Now this is third chapter, atoms and molecules. First question, in a reaction, 5.3 grams of sodium carbonate reacted with 6 grams of ethanoic acid. The product was 2.2 grams of carbon dioxide, 0.9 grams of water and 8.2 grams of sodium ethanoate. Show that these observations are in agreement with the law of conservation of mass carbonate. That is law of conservation. That means the weight of reactant will be equal to rate of product. Weight of the product will be law of conservation of mass. Okay, first we will write the question in the equation form. Sodium carbonate react with ethanoic acid gives, the arrow represents gives sodium ethanoate and carbon dioxide and water. Wherever we say and I represent as addition, that is plus symbol, and reacted with, when we are saying reacted with, addition symbol I am doing. Okay, sodium carbonate react with ethanoic acid gives sodium ethanoate, carbon dioxide and water. This is the question. And before that I am writing the grams, quantity of the particular compound. Sodium carbonate is 5.3 grams. Ethanoic acid is 6 grams. Sodium ethanoate 8.2 grams. Sodium ethanoate. Carbon dioxide 2.2 grams and water 0.9 grams. We have to prove that LHS will be equal to RHS. The quantity of reactant is equal to quantity of product. Before we are taking the proceeding the experiment, that is reactant. After we completed the experiment, what we obtained is product. Okay, so this is 5.3 plus 6, we get 11.3 grams in the LHS side, left hand side, reactant side. Here 8.2 plus 2.2 plus 0.9, we get 11.3 grams. So this is equal to LHS is equal to RHS. That is reactant is equal to quantity of reactant is equal to quantity of product. So it shows the agreement with the law of conservation of mass. It shows during the chemical reaction, mass of reactant is equal to mass of product. Next question, write down the formula of sodium oxide, aluminum chloride, sodium sulfide, magnesium hydroxide. We have to write the formula for this. Okay, before we write the formula, we should be able to know that is symbol of the particular element and the valency number of particular element. Here sodium is represented by Na. Natrium is the Greek word sodium. Okay, so it is represented by natrium Na, and the oxygen, the valency number of sodium is 1. I am writing below to sodium, and oxygen is represented by O. Its valency number is 2, and we are writing as cross multiplication. That will be the symbol formula of this sodium oxide, Na2O1. Instead of writing 1, we are leaving 1. So Na2O will be formula of sodium oxide. In that same way, aluminum chloride. Aluminum symbol is Al. Valency number of aluminum is 3. Chlorine is Cl. That valency number of chlorine is 1, and writing as cross multiplication Al1 Cl3. Instead of writing 1, we are writing AlCl3. Sodium sulfide. Here symbol of sodium is Na. Its valency number is 1. So below that I am writing 1. Sulfur is 2. I am writing 2 below the sulfur, yes. And as cross multiplication Na2S1 or Na2S will be formula of sodium sulfide. Then magnesium hydroxide, magnesium Mg, valency number is 2, hydroxide OH, valency number is 1, Mg I am writing as cross multiplication Mg1OH2 or OH twice. As it is the two letters, I am writing within the bracket OH2. If it is only one, it is Na2, isn't it? So this I am writing within the bracket. This is called it twice, OH twice. Okay, or 2 times. Aluminium oxide, aluminium Al. Below that I am writing valence number of aluminium 3 and O oxygen 2, Al2 O3. Al. Here you should not confuse this as oxygen and hydrogen. This is together hydroxide. So I am writing within the bracket. Here Al is symbol of aluminium. Na is symbol of sodium alone. Okay. So this is, we are not putting within the brackets, writing within the brackets Al2O3. Then magnesium chloride, Mg is the symbol of magnesium, and valence number of magnesium is 2, chlorine 1, MgCl2 as cross multiplication Mg1Cl2 or MgCl2. Calcium oxide Ca2O2. Instead of writing 2 below both symbol, we are writing CaO. 2 getting cancelled and CaO will be the formula of calcium oxide. Next, copper nitrate. Copper nitrate, Cu copper, and that symbol charge is 2. Nitrate NO3, that charge is 1. So Cu cross multiplication Cu NO3 twice. NO again we should not confuse, it is nitrogen oxygen. This is together nitrate and we are writing within the brackets nitrate twice. Okay. Calcium carbonate. Calcium is 2, carbonate is 2. So we are writing calcium carbonate, 2 getting cancelled, CaCO3. Next. Hydrogen and oxygen combine in the ratio of 1:8 by mass of water. Mass to form water. What mass of oxygen gas would be required to react completely with 3 grams of hydrogen gas? This is, we know water is combination of hydrogen and oxygen. When we take only 1 time of hydrogen, it reacts with 8 times of oxygen form water. If we take 3 times of hydrogen, how much of oxygen should be taken? That is the question. So we are writing 1 time of hydrogen and 8 times of oxygen, and if we take 3 times of hydrogen, we have to yet to find out this. This is the question. So we are cross multiplying this. So 1x will be is equal to 24. So 24 times of 24 grams of oxygen will be needed to react with the 3 grams of hydrogen. Understood? Next one. Define the atomic mass unit. Atomic mass unit. How to determine the atomic mass unit? 1 atomic mass unit is equal to exactly 1/12 of mass of 1 atom of carbon 12. Is it clear? That is 1/12 of mass of 1 atom of carbon 12 is the atomic mass unit. We are calculating with this, comparing with this. That is only the mass unit, atomic mass unit. Why is it not possible to see an atom with the naked eyes? Atom is too small, we may be knowing, and it cannot be seen by our naked eyes. For example, I am saying to imagine that on a top of the bell pin, head of the bell pin, we can place about 1 lakh of atom. Imagine bell pin, top of the bell pin, head of the bell pin, we can place about 1 lakh of atom. So we can imagine the size of an atom. So it is too small to be seen with the naked eyes. It is measured in nanometer. That is 1 meter is equal to 10 power 9 nanometer. 1 meter can be divided into 10 power 9. After 1 we can write 9 zeros. that is only nanometer. So it is much smaller. So it is not possible to see with our naked eyes. What is mean by the term chemical formula? The symbolic representation of its composition is the chemical formula. We have seen sodium sulfide, whatever that is sodium chloride. Symbolic representation of the composition is the chemical formula. For example, sodium chloride. Sodium is Na, Cl is Cl. So this is symbolically we are writing sodium as Na. Chloride we are symbolically writing as Cl, and with the valence number we are writing sodium also 1, chlorine also 1. So we are writing NaCl. So what is chemical formula? Symbolic representation of its composition is the chemical formula. Then next one, how many atoms are present in a hydrogen sulfide molecule or phosphate ion molecule? Okay, this is number of molecules only we have to find out. Number of atoms, how many atoms? Here sulfur we get only 1, hydrogen 2. So 2 plus 1, 3 atoms are present in hydrogen sulfide. In that same way, phosphate, oxygen 4 oxygen plus only 1 phosphorus. No other number is here representing here. Coefficients we are saying, no. So this is 1 plus 4, 5 atoms are present in phosphate ions. Then if 1 mole of carbon atoms weighs 12 grams, 1 atom of carbon 1 mole of carbon atom weighs 12 grams, what is the mass in grams of 1 atom of carbon? 1 mole of carbon is equal to 6.00, that is 022 into 10 power 23 is equal to 12 grams. What is 12 grams? That is Avogadro number of atoms. 1 mole of carbon will be having 6.022 into 10 power 23 atoms. That will be equal to 12 grams. Then mass of 1 atom will be this 12 divided by Avogadro number. 12 divided by Avogadro number. That approximately we get this 6 will goes in 12 about 2 times. Approximately we can write 2 or 1.99 10 power 23 minus 23. This 23 is coming as numerator, so it has represented as minus 23 grams. Okay, next one. Calculate the molecular masses. Calculate the molecular masses of H2, O2, chlorine, carbon dioxide, then methane, C2H2, ammonia and CH3OH. Here this sum of the atomic masses will be the molecular masses. Sum of the atomic masses. Sum of the atomic masses in the sense atomic mass of hydrogen will be 1. It is number of atoms hydrogen is 2. So 2 into 1, 2 into 1 will be 2 mu. This is represented as mu or unit, we can say unit or 2 mu. Then oxygen, 2 numbers. Atomic mass of oxygen is 16. So 16 into 2, 32. In that same way, chlorine, that is 35.5 into 2, 71 unit. Then carbon dioxide, that is carbon dioxide, carbon is 12, oxygen is 16 into 2. So 32 plus 12, isn't it? 32 plus 12 will be 44 units. Then methane. For methane, carbon is 12, hydrogen 4 into 1, isn't it? 1. Hydrogen, atomic mass of hydrogen is 1 and 4 times of hydrogen. So 1 into 4, 16 mu. Here C2H6 will be carbon again 12. Atomic mass of carbon is 12 and C2, it represents 2 carbon atoms, so multiply by 2, that is 24 plus, here 1 into 6, 24 plus 6, 30 units or 30 mu. Here C2H4 again, C2 in the sense 24 will be coming 2 into 12, 24, and again here H4 4 times. So 28 mu. Then NH3, ammonia is this nitrogen, atomic mass of nitrogen is 14, hydrogen is 1 into 3, so 17 mu. CH3OH, here C12H 1 into 4, this 3 plus 1, 1 into 4 plus 16, we get 32 mu. Next one, calculate the molar mass of the following substances. Ethyne, C2H2, sulfur molecule, S8, phosphorus molecule, P4, and hydrochloric acid, nitric acid, isn't it? So, what is molar mass? Molar mass will be the summation of everything, atomic mass of all the elements present in the compound, and as we are writing, molar mass will be represented in the grams. So C2H2, here C2 12 into 2, hydrogen 2 into 1, so we'll get 26 grams. Sulfur molecules, sulfur is 32, 32 into 8, 256 grams. Phosphorus molecules, they will be giving to you in the exams in the question paper within the brackets. With the help of that you can solve this. Phosphorus molecule, this is 31 into 4 times. So 31 into 4, 124 grams. Hydrochloric acid, hydrogen 1 time, chlorine 1 time. Chlorine 35.1, here 1 time, 1 into 1. So 36.5 grams. Nitric acid, HNO3, will get 63. Nitrogen only new to us, that is 14. Then the rest of that 16 into 3 and hydrogen is 1. So we get together 63 grams. Okay. Next, calculate the formula of unit masses of ZNO, Na2O, K2CO3 given atomic masses. Sir, atomic masses has been given within the brackets. We have to solve this ZNO. Zn 65, O 16, so 81 units. What is this formula? Unit masses, 81 units. In this way, Na2O, Na we know that is 23, sodium's 23, 23 into 2 plus 16 unit. So together we get 62 units. Potassium carbonate, potassium is 39 and 2 times, it is here 2, no, K2, so we are multiplying by 2. Carbon only 1 time, carbon we know that is 12, isn't it? And oxygen 3 times, this is carbon into 1 and oxygen 16 into 3, together we get 138 units. Next question, 1 mole of nitrogen atoms. What is the mass of 1 mole of nitrogen atom? That is, mass of 1 mole of nitrogen atom will be 14. That atomic mass will be the weight of 1 mole of a nitrogen atom, that is equal to 14 grams. If we know the atomic mass number, okay. Then 4 moles of aluminium atoms. Atomic mass of aluminium is 27. They have given us 4 moles. So multiply by 4. 27 into 4 we get 108 grams. Then 10 moles of sodium sulfite. Sodium we know 23. 23 into here 2 times, so Na2. So we are multiplying by 2. And sulfur 32. And oxygen 16 into 3. Together we get 126 grams for sodium sulfate. But here 10 moles of sodium sulfite. So we are multiplying this answer with 10 times. Okay, so we get 1260 grams will be the answer. Next question, which has more number of atoms, whether 100 grams of sodium or 100 grams of iron? Okay, both will be 100 grams, but number of atoms will be more. In which will be the more? We have to find out that. We may be asking in the lower section 1 kilogram of iron and 1 kilogram of cotton, which will be weighing, will be heavier, isn't it? So number of molecules, the way of placing in the atom, we feel heavier. That iron may be heavier than the cotton, because we have seen So many examples in the properties of solid liquid gases. So based on that, here also number of atoms which will be having both are 100 grams, but which will be having more atoms, whether it is in sodium or in iron, we have to find out. First we are calculating that number of atoms, in the sense Avogadro number. 23 grams of sodium will be equal to 6.022 into 10.23 atoms per mole. So 100 grams of sodium will be 100 into 6.022 10.23 divided by 23. Okay, if it is divided by 23, we get 2.6182 10 power 23. Okay, so when we are writing this is 26.182 10 power 23, and we are writing that in a one decimal, single decimal, one decimal, so it becomes, the power becomes 24. 2.6182 into 10 power 24 atoms. Okay, understood? How do you get this? We are converting this with the Avogadro number. We are converting this into number of atoms. 100 grams converted into number of atoms divided by the given grams given. Okay, in that same way, 100 into Avogadro number divided by 56, we get a 10.753 10.23. When we are writing in single decimal, one decimal, that is 1.075 into 10.24. So quite naturally, when we are comparing this, which has more atom? The question is which has, whether sodium contain more atom or iron contain more atom. Quite naturally, sodium contain more atom than the iron in this. Okay, next one. 0.24 grams sample of compound of oxygen and boron was found by analysis to contain 0.096 grams of boron and 0.144 grams of oxygen. Okay, understand? First question is, the sample weight is 0.24 grams. In that, the boron weight is 0.096 and the oxygen weight is 0.144 grams. Okay, boron weight is 0.096, oxygen weight is 0.144 grams. The compound weight is 0.24 grams. We have to find out the percentage composition of the compound of boron. How to find out this? Here 0.24 grams is the sample. So we have to find out for 100 grams into that is boron, weight of boron divided by the sample weight. So we get 40%. Boron is having in this 40%. In that same way, to find the percentage of oxygen, 100 into percentage of oxygen in the compound and divided by the sample weight, 0.24, we got 60%. Okay, so boron in this answer, boron 40%, carbon oxygen is 60% in this answer. Next one. Write 3 grams of carbon is burnt in 8 grams of oxygen. 11 grams of carbon dioxide is produced. What mass of carbon dioxide will be formed when 3 grams of carbon is burnt in 50 grams of oxygen? Which law of chemical combination will govern your answer? The reaction of burning of carbon in oxygen will be retained. We will be writing this in the equation format. So this carbon plus oxygen, we get carbon dioxide. If we consider the atomic number, this is 1 mole carbon is 12 grams. Here oxygen 16 into 2, isn't it? 32 grams. So we get 44 grams of carbon plus oxygen reactor forms 44 grams of carbon dioxide. It shows 12 grams of carbon burns in 32 grams of and form 44 grams of carbon dioxide. So if 3 grams of carbon is burnt in 8 grams of oxygen to produce 11 grams of carbon dioxide, then First time we burn 3 grams with 8 grams and we produce 11 grams of carbon dioxide. Again, if 3 grams of carbon burnt with 50 grams of oxygen, what will happen? The rest, only this oxygen, whatever in the first reaction 3 grams. So this will be equal. The oxygen consumption will be the same amount. So 50 minus 8, we get 42 grams of oxygen will be left unreacted. So it shows the answer governs law of constant proportion. So we may be having much more quantity of food items, whether maybe puris or chapatis, whatever that is. But how much we can consume, our capacity will be there. Our capacity fixes the limitations. In that same way, the 3 grams of carbon reacted with 8 grams of oxygen produced 11 grams of carbon dioxide. So whatever you are giving much more to them, it will not be using that. The rest of that 50 minus 8 will be 42 grams of oxygen will be left unreacted. Okay. Next question. What are polyatomic ions? Give examples. The ions which contain more than one atoms, same kind or maybe different kind, and behave as a single unit called polyatomic. They will be behaving as hydroxide, O and H, but they will not be showing oxygen property or hydrogen property. Hydroxide together they will be reacting, and sulfate, SO4. Here carbonate, they will not be showing the properties of carbon and oxygen, sulfur and oxygen separately, as together will be behaving. So those are all called polyatomic ions. Okay, convert into moles. 12 grams of oxygen gas. Here the number of grams divided by molar mass. Okay, number of grams is given here, 12 grams, and the molar mass of oxygen is O2, always bimolecular. So 12 by 32 will be 0.375 mole. And 20 grams of water. 20 grams of water divided by molar mass of water. Molar mass of water is 18. Here we should remember this. Hydrogen 1. So this is here 2 times. 2 into 1, and here oxygen 1, its atomic number is 16, so 18. Molar mass of water we should know to calculate, and 20 divided by 18, 1.12 mole. Okay, next question. Given mass of carbon dioxide equal to 22 grams. Here convert into mole of 22 grams of carbon dioxide. Molar mass of carbon dioxide, carbon 12, oxygen 16 into 2. So that is 44. 22 divided by 44 will be 1 by 2, or can be written as 0.5 mole. Okay. Next, what is the mass of 0.2 mole of oxygen atom and 0.5 mole of water molecule? Mole of oxygen atom, that is atomic mass into given mole of oxygen atom, in the sense what is the mass of 0.2 mole of oxygen atom, whatever the given, into oxygen, atomic mass of oxygen is 16. So 16 into 0.2 will be 3.2 grams. In that same way, 0.5 mole of water molecule, 0.5 into 18 we get 9 grams. That is the mass of 0.5 mole of water molecule. Then calculate the number of molecules of sulfur present in 16 grams of solid sulfur. Molar mass of sulfur is 32 and for sulfur S8 will be 256 unit. We convert that. Then how to find out the number of moles? Calculate the number of molecules in the given sample. That is, given mass divided by molar mass is equal to number of particles by Avogadro number. So the given mass is equal to 16 into Avogadro number. This will be cross multiplication. This only we have to find out. Number of particles we have to find out. So this is the equation. Given mass by molar mass equal to number of particles into Avogadro number. When now we have to find out Avogadro number of particles, we are writing n here, and this will be as cross multiplication. Given mass 16, Avogadro number 6.22 10.23, molar mass will be 256, and altogether we get 3.76 into 10.22. Okay, here 0.376 10.23. When we are writing in one decimal, it can be as 3.76 10.22 molecules. Okay, next question. Calculate the number of aluminum ions present in 0.051 grams of aluminum oxide. Hint, the mass of ion will be the same as the element, that is 27. Atomic mass of ion will be, aluminum ion will be 27. Answer, molar mass of aluminum oxide. First we should know to write the formula of aluminum oxide, that is Al2O3. And we have written the atomic mass of aluminum is 27 into 2 times aluminum, isn't it? So we have multiplied by 2. Here between these two elements plus we are adding this 3 into 16 48, together 102 grams. Okay, molar mass of aluminum oxide will be 102 grams. So 102 grams of aluminum oxide contain how many aluminum ions? 2 into 6.022 10.23 aluminum ions. We are converting, by multiplying this Avogadro number, we are converting into number of atoms. So when we are divided this, we will be getting the answer. Number of ions will be there. 2 into 0.6022 into 10.23 divided by the aluminum oxide, molar molecular mass of aluminum oxide, we get 0.00602 10.23 aluminum ions in that. Number of aluminum ions present in the given solution. Okay. Till this we conclude the lesson. Next we will see in the next video.